Yes, my lord, just once again, we just want to mention that exhibit MM as the certain pages that might not be visible, and that exhibit in fact goes up to page 11, my lord, and not 9, page.
Okay, page 11.
Yes, up to page 11. And it goes along with exhibits UU1 and 2. However, pages 17 and 18 already form part of exhibit KK that has already been handed up. And all these are OB entries, my lord, from various police stations.
Yeah, okay.
If we can also ask that my colleague Advocate Sibanda be allowed to assist should the need arise, to assist the witness with the exhibits.
I thought you wanted to say something, Mr. Minister.
Yes, just to address the court on one aspect.
You want to?
I'm requesting for an indulgence just to address the court on one aspect relating to this witness.
Okay.
Yes. My lord, it will be remembered that at the onset of at the inception of this trial within a trial, the state made mention of the fact that there are statements that the state would want to prove in respect of accused number 3, 4, and 5. There was a bit of a request for clarification there as to what is it that the state would want to demonstrate to the court on the content of the said statement that the state says it wants to prove against accused number 3, 4, 5. Then the state said it is just the statement, my lord. Now, on the documents that we have been furnished by the state, which are the statement regarding the interview with the suspect, which is the document that the state intends to prove against accused number 3, 4, and 5, we have noted, my lord, that there's a portion where this witness also participated in that document. To be very specific, he participated as a commissioner of oath. Now, before the court could resume, we took this aspect up with our colleague for the State Advocate Baloyi and wanted to clarify with him as to whether or not would then that be the beginning of a testimony on the aspect of admissibility of the document that we mentioned at the beginning of the trial within the trial as they relate to accused number 3, 4, and 5. The answer that we're getting, my lord, is that this witness will not be testifying about accused number 3, about accused number 4, and about accused number 5. But the challenge that we have, my lord, is his name is included in the statement that we were on the statement regarding the interview with the suspect, his name is also included there. So I'm not so sure whether the state intends to, because the state specifically indicated that this witness will only testify in respect of accused number 1 and 2. I'm not so sure whether the state is then saying that this witness, for purposes of this trial, within the trial as it is happening now, will only concentrate on accused number 1 and 2. And again, within the same trial, within the trial, this witness is going to be recalled to come and say something, if there is anything to be said, in respect of accused number 3, 4, and 5, my lord. That is the clarification that we want to know. And the basis of this clarification, my lord, it's simply that if this witness were to start to say something about accused number 3, 4, and I'm not pleading the case here of accused number 4 and 5 as well, my lord, but we are in the same boat here. But if this witness were to start, as he is being led by the state, to say something in relation to accused number 3, 4, and accused number 5, then we'll go back to the initial argument that we raised at the beginning, my lord, that before a witness starts to testify against accused number 3, 4, and 5, we would want to know exactly, with certainty, as to what is it that the state intends to demonstrate when it leads the evidence relating to the warning statements. In other words, what is it that the state would ultimately want to argue as being the content of the statement that it wants to prove before court, my lord? That is going to enable us to prepare our defense and conduct our defense in line with what the state is going to argue ultimately as to why it actually wants to lead to this information or evidence, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
As you could please, my lord, I have indeed intimated to my colleagues that this witness will be confined to the statements that were made by accused number 1 and 2. Hence, we've been going through the occurrence book entries, and those pertain only to accused 1 and 2. Insofar as the issue is concerned that has been raised by Advocate Nisi, that this witness might have commissioned the warning statement of their clients. Well, firstly, his evidence is not going to touch on that. I've given them that assurance. But secondly, my understanding of their defense during the trial, within the trial, is that their clients did not make any statements. So the commissioning thereof, with the greatest of respect, I don't think is at issue. They're simply saying, they didn't make any statements. So it's then for the state then to show that indeed a statement was made. And we must keep in mind at this stage, my lord, that it's only about the voluntariness of the statement and not the contents thereof. So Advocate Sergeant Mokhane's evidence, should we reach that point about the contents, will only be relevant at that stage if the contents of those statements are disputed. But for present purposes, my lord, we're not going to canvass that.
So these are the statements of accused 3, 4, 5?
Yes.
Because the defense of accused number 3, 4, 5 is that their clients did not make any statements.
Indeed.
But in the same breath, they want to know what is the contents of the statements.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yes. Well,
it's an oxymoron.
It's a two-pronged.
You know what's an oxymoron?
Two-pronged attack on the warning statements, but we are of the view, my lord, that that shouldn't really be an issue at this stage, given their defense.
Mr. Mnisi, what's your response? Because Mr. Baloyi says your defense
Yes, my lord.
is that your clients,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, never made statements.
Yes, my lord.
Never made statements.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah.
That is so, my lord. However, that needs to be contextualized. When we say they did not make any statement, I'm not even so sure whether I'm positioned now to disclose what actually happened. But I think ultimately it will have to come to the court, my lord. When I said that it did not make any statement, it does not mean that there's something that is not contained in this document, my lord. There is something that is contained in this document which it does not bear knowledge of. So on the basis of what is contained in the statement, prima facie, there's a statement that was made, but our defense is it did not make that statement. That is what I meant by saying it did not make a statement, my lord. It bear no knowledge of what is contained in here.
Yeah,
and the
fine,
state
yeah, I hear you.
insists, my lord, that they would want to prove the statement. And I don't think that the state would simply want to prove the statement or the document simply for the sake of it being a document. There is something that is contained in this document that the state would want to demonstrate and bring it to the attention of
Is
this
there any
court.
unlawfulness in that aspect? Because this court, if anything is unlawful
Yes, my lord.
and doesn't comply with the Constitution, I won't allow it.
As it
But I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know. All I know is what the state is telling me, that they have a witness who's not going to traverse
Yes, my lord.
the evidence of number 3, 4,
Yes.
5. Is going to testify in respect of the evidence of 1 and 2.
Yes, my lord.
And then Mr. Baloyi says, you, as far as he's concerned, your clients, you have told him, did not make any statements. But he is saying your clients made statements. That's it. So that matter be resolved by the evidence. I told you about officers of court to tell this court one thing and the other thing. I mean, what should I do? He says your clients made statements. You say your clients didn't make statements. How will I know? I don't have them here. Let the evidence be led. If those statements are inadmissible, we'll see. If they are admissible, we'll see. I don't know. I can't prejudge the issue here now. Okay.
That is the reason why, my lord, I am standing and saying that in the document where the state alleges that our client made a statement, the name of these witnesses, of this witness features. But the state then says, no, don't worry, this witness will not say anything about your client. So we don't know whether we need to cross-examine this witness or what.
Any witness who testifies here, you have a right to cross-examine him or her. Okay.
As it is the court.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, let's start.
As the court, please, my lord.
Can you say you have sworn the witness in?
Not yet,
Not yet. Please do so.
May it please the court. Ngicela usho amagama akho wonke nesibongo. Asikande la. Uzokhuluma nopolice.
Spade.
Utlabalela Spade. Kupa ubulele maina akho akamoka le sefana.
Ke nna Vus Pomozi Mohani.
Utlabale bothata ka o tšea tlamo ya go bolela nnete. No objection to taking the prescribed oath, my lord. Ga e le gore o tla bolela nnete le nnete fela o sena se seng ka ntlha ya nnete e mesa letsogo gore modimo a o thuše.
Modimo nthushe.
So sworn, my lord.
Yes.
Is it correct that you are a sergeant in the South African police?
Ke nnete gore o sergeant mo sepodising sa South Africa.
Ke nnete.
That is correct. Ukubuza ukuthi uyiqiniso yena ukuthi usayitsheni esipodising sase South Africa wathi yebo kunjalo.
When did you join the South African police service?
Uthome neng go berekela sepodising sa South Africa?
Ka August 2002 ka di 4.
On the 4th of August 2002.
Can you just briefly set out your career history in the police until now?
O ka re botša gore o berekile go tloga kae wa di eng mo sepodiseng go fihla go ntšatše?
Ke joined sepodisa ka 2002 ka ya college.
I joined the police service in 2002 and I went to college. Nga qala esiphoyiseni ngo-2002 lapho ke engaya khona e-college.
Ka wa wona ka fetša basic training ka boela station ka ba le focus.
I then finished my basic training and I went back to the station and I became a detective. Ushuthi waqeda ke college sengibuyela ngasengibuyela e-station esikhumulweni samaphoyisa la engaba khona umpheli.
Which station?
Station sisi.
Bekele Uvel police station.
I was in the Uval police station. Ngasebenzela i-Uval police station.
In Johannesburg?
Yeah, in Johannesburg.
Yes, it's in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Yebo kusekhona.
Ome o tloga fa o ye ka 2004 bankisha Hillbrow tracing unit.
From there in 2004 I was taken to the Hillbrow tracing unit. Kusuka lapho ke wayeswa e-Hillbrow ngesenze tracing unit.
Ka ro fetša fa o ye ka boela Uvel gape ka ba le focus.
And then from there I went back to Yeovil and as a detective. Kusuka lapho ke ngaphindela e-Yeovil ngayoba umseshi khona.
Yes, which years?
Ngeminyaka efi?
The early 2006.
It was in 2006. Ngonyaka 2006.
Yes.
Then 2007 ka joina Johannesburg vehicle theft unit.
And 2007 I joined the Johannesburg vehicle theft unit. Ngo-2007 ngase ngiqala ngisebenzela iqembu elithiwa i-Johannesburg vehicle theft unit.
Yes. 2010 ka joina provincial taxi violence unit ke mo kopaneng le Colonel Gininda was still a captain there, brigadier.
In 2010
provincial taxi violence unit.
I joined the provincial taxi violence unit, which where I met Brigadier Dininza. At the time, he was still a captain. Lapho ke ngo-2010 ngajoina i-Johannesburg taxi violence unit, provincial taxi violence unit. Ngahlangana ke no Brigadier Gininda. Kodwa ke lapho kwayeso captain.
Is it correct that Brigadier Gininda is the lead investigator in this matter?
Brigadier Gininda ke na a dirang dinyakišišo yo mogolo a dirang dinyakišišo mo kgetseneng. That is correct. Yebo kunjalo uBrigadier Gininda uyena ke umseshi omkhulu kulolu daba.
Yes.
Omega 2012 ka boela gape Johannesburg vehicle theft unit.
In 2012 I went back to the Johannesburg
vehicle theft unit.
Johannesburg vehicle theft unit. Ngo-2012 ngabuyela ke ku-Johannesburg vehicle theft unit.
Yes.
Then 2016 ke joina national cold case unit in Pretoria.
In 2016 I joined the national cold case unit in Pretoria. Ngo-2016 ilanga qala khonsezela i-national cold case unit ela ePitori.
And who is the head of that unit?
Kimang omogolomo.
Brigadier Gininda.
It is Brigadier Gininda. Omkhulu ke kuleyo ndawo uBrigadier Gininda uyena umkhuzwane lo qembu.
Yes.
Omme re le go joina unit e mshomo wa ka ke go collecta di docket go tloga dinageng tša Afrika Borwa ka moka.
And in my duties within this unit is to collect dockets from all over South Africa.
Tše leng gore di na le molato e le gore o lebane le unit ya rena.
These dockets are those that have cases that we are concerned with.
Yes.
Futhi ke lapho ke mina umsebenzi wami ukuhamba ngifuthatha wonke amadokethe la kwelasemzansi anamacala aqondene nathi.
Now, in total, how many years service do you have? In the South African Police Service?
South Africa.
Ke na le ngwaga e masome a mabedi le motso o tee.
I have 21 years in the South African Police Service. Nginamashumi amabili nanye esiphoyiseni sase South Africa.
Are you part of the investigating team in this matter?
Ulilokulaba ngiyakishishimo ukhetsinye.
Ke nnete.
That is correct. Yebo ngomunye wabaseshi kulolu daba.
And what do your duties entail in this team?
Mo team me shume ya hokudi yin.
Ke go ba el focus.
It is to be a detective. Yebo umsebenzi wami lana ukuba umphenyi.
Go nyatishisha le ba gononelwa.
And it also to investigate the suspects. Ukushike ngiphenyeke abasolwa.
Lo chia di exhibit redisha for downloading.
And also to collect exhibits to take them for downloading. Futhi ke nokuthatha ke izinkomba zio download. Also, the very important responsibility is to arrest once we're finished with our investigations. Futhi komunye umsebenzi ukuthi ke ngisiyobopha uma sekuwukuthi sesiqedile uphenyo lwethu.
Can you then tell the court in your own words what happened in December of 2019?
Uka uja hore kamanja hore ho diragetseng ka di December 2019.
Brigadier Kininda we salo colonel. Will a hwecha tshedimosetso ka case ya go bolawa ka Senzo Meyiwa.
Brigadier Kininda got information about the case of the death of Senzo Meyiwa, but at that time he was still really
Colonel.
He was a colonel at that time. Brigadier Kininda wathola ke ulwazi mayelana nokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa kodwa ngaleso sikhathi wayeso colonel.
Yes.
Balgere ka mmogo a re bitsa ra dula fase ra hlahla molato.
And since we're working together, he brought us together and we sat down and discussed this particular case. And ngoba ngisebenza ndawonye wasibiza sahlala phansi sayibheka ke licala le.
Yes.
Re lo wajolela gore ona le
Yes, so you don't need to go into details. What did you do in December of 2019?
Uskazana la Norwich fela horo ho diragetseng ka December 2019.
Really repenya wa tsola lebitso la Bongani Ntanzi.
And while we're conducting our investigations, a name of
Bongani Ntanzi.
A name of Bongani Ntanzi came up. Ngesisa zake uphenyo lethu kwavela igama lika Bongani Ntanzi.
Yes.
Bona le hlodi e be re botsa gore mollo wa mega mo molatong.
And there was an informer who told us that this man is involved in this case.
Yes, information was received regarding Mr. Bongani Ntanzi, is that correct? What did you do as a result of that information?
A really right lo fase ra ya hlahla go ntse bona o kragala kae o dirile eng.
We sat down and discussed it and wanted to know where he could be found and where and what he had done. Sasihlala phansi siyixoxa le ndaba safuna ukwazi ukuthi wenzeni futhi nokuthi utholakala.
Yes.
ila kra lo ro ba bereka
sasisithola ukuthi usenza kwenye izimayini esewesternary.
Yes.
o me rile ra monyakishisha ra ska khona mo kreya
We tried to look for him, unfortunately we could not find him. Samfuna kodwa ke asizange sikwazi ukumthola.
Yes.
o me ra kreya lo gore hlodi ya rena rono o shetse a thutile o ile
Yes, you received information.
Yes.
Did you follow up on the information?
yes
Yes, we did follow up on that information. Saseke silandela lolwazi esalunika.
Yes, and what did you establish?
Lelela hwetjang.
ra go ja gore monno a sa shuma ka kwa mining western area o shetse
Yes. Yes, you followed up the information.
Yes.
What did you find?
Lelela hwetjang ga le
re le kra ro wa mega mo
We discovered that he is in that involved in that case. Sasithola ukuthi yebo ngempela uyathinteka kulolu daba.
Did you try to trace him?
Lelela nyaka omnyaka.
minyakile
Yes, we did look for him. Yebo samfuna.
Yes.
re le ra kra le gore gape e ntse minyaka balo ona le milato e le gore be mo ama
And as we were looking for him, we also discovered that there are certain cases which he might be involved in apart from this specific one. Sasithola ukuthi khona eminye amanye amacala atholakala ukuthi ngathi nakhona uyathinteka ngaphandle kwaleli cala.
Yes.
o me le bona re ile ra nyaka melato eo e ra e fumana
And then we went to look for those cases and we found them. Sasifuna namanye ke amacala ukuthi uyathinteka kuwona sawathola.
Yes.
o me ra go etsa ra lwa fase gape le brigadier Gininda
And we went to sit again to discuss with Brigadier Geninda. Sasiphinde lukohlala phansi sikhuluma no Brigadier Geninda.
gape le re bereka le sergeant Mogola
And also we work with Sergeant Mogola. Futhi ke sisebenza no Sergeant Mogola.
Yes.
ka gore nako ela e be le bjale tloa ka December ra monyaka ge re monyaka re pleke tše ka moka
And from December we looked for him and we looked all over for him. And so ngoDecember samfuna kodwa samfuna yonke indawo.
Yes, which year?
Ngakho
late 2019 and early 2020
kusuka ekugcineni ka-2019 kuyofika ku-2020.
Yes.
o me re ile ra monyaka ra mo hwetša e le gore sorry o Phukeng o dula Phukeng Rustenburg
We looked for him until we discovered that he stays in Phukeng in Rustenburg. Samfuna saze sathola umkhondo ukuthi uhlala ePhukeng eRustenburg.
Yes. When did you locate him?
Lile la muhwejani.
ra mo hwetše ka June
We eventually got him in June.
Of which year?
Ka ngwaga ofe?
2020
In 2020. Sagcina simthole ngoJune 2020.
Yes.
o me ka re o ana le melato e mentšhi ya megang go yona re fitlha kwa o na le mogolo gore monyakela ona wa Nongoma
Go na le o mogolo?
wa case ya Nongoma
Oh, molato.
yeah
Well, since he had many cases, there was a big case that was from Nongoma that he appeared to be involved in as well. Stay masamfuna sathola nokuthi khona iqanda elikhulu elivela kwaNongoma nalo athintekayo kulo.
yes then wa ba lengwe gape ya Fosloras le yona
There was also another case from Fosloras. There was ukuba nelinye icala laseFosloras.
e seng le la Blawe o mongwe gape le molato
Not this murder case. Kungelona ke leli icala lokubulala.
Yes.
o me ra ke ile go ebele le be kana le Sergeant Mabena, the late Sergeant Mabena.
I also mentioned that I was with Sergeant Mabena, the late Sergeant Mabena. Sengishilo ukuthi ngangisebenzisana no Sergeant Mabena osesishiyile.
And who is Sergeant Mabena?
Come on, Sergeant Mabena.
Sergeant Mabena ke o bereka lefapeng crime intelligence mo police Africa Borwa.
Sergeant Mabena used to work in crime intelligence in the South African police. So Sergeant Mabena wayesenza nalabo abafuna ke abathungatha ulwazi esiphoyiseni sase-South Africa.
Otse ngwaga go feta ka September.
If I remember correctly, he passed away in the last year in September. Mangikhumbula kahle wadlula emhlabeni kulonyaka wedlule ngoSeptember
Ka kotsi ya motor.
in a car accident. Washona ke engozini yemoto.
Yes.
O me Sergeant Mabena ke ena ba re gobakeletša information.
Sergeant Mabena was the one that was collecting information for us. Sergeant Mabena yena was qoqela ulwazi.
Yes.
And ke ena gape ba le gore ba shomana le tlhodi tše dintšhe tše di thušitšeng malatong.
He was also the one who was working together with the other informers that were helping us in this case. Mina wayesebenza ke nabanye ke abasithungathela ulwazi kuleli loludaba.
Yes, you mentioned that you were with him, Sergeant Mabena. What happened?
Go diragetseng o le ne bona le yana Sergeant Mabena.
Ya go meka di 16th of June re ile ra fitlha kwa Phokeng.
On the 16th of June, we did arrive in Phokeng. On the 16th of June, so I figured Phokeng.
Which year?
2020.
That was in 2020.
Yes.
Ka ge tlhodi di bešetse re boditše gore re ka mokra gae Bongani Ntanzi ra gomme ya ile re bontšha poleke eo.
Since the informant had informed us where we would find Bongani Ntanzi, he then directed us to that place.
Yes, we followed up the information. What happened then?
And then what did happen?
So re tsamaya le ena re lebelediša molato a re bontšha mo Ntanzi a dulang gona gomme ra mmona e le mosegare.
We went there during the day and where we were, he showed us where Ntanzi could be found. Wasisithatha ke sisa la Ntanzi thola khona kwakuyisemini.
Yes.
Yale mantšiboana a June 16, 2020 ge re ya police station ya Phokeng.
On the evening of June 2016, we went to the Phokeng police station. Kusihlwa ke umhla 16 June 2020 sasesiya esikhumulweni sasemaphoyisa sasePhokeng.
Yes.
Ke molao gore ge re fitlha dipoleke tše dingwe tshwanetse re fete police station go pele thušo ya maphodisa.
It is custom that when I go to a different place, we need to go first to the local police station and ask for assistance. Umthetho ukuthi uma siya kwenye indawo sifika singene esikhumulweni samaphoyisa sicele usizo khona.
Yes.
Mme re le go fitlha gona ra gopela re tswa National Cold Case Investigation a re tsebe poleke ya gabo se ka re ke bošego ebile a re tshepe motho.
And then we informed them that we come from the National Cold Case Unit and we do not know the place and we do not trust anyone. So sesifika kuleyo ndawo sathi sabatshela ukuthi siphuma ku National Cold Case Unit, sabatshela nokuthi asiyazi indawo futhi ke sithembi umuntu.
Yes.
Ge umebele ba dumela ra gopela ba re felesetse re ye mo Ntanzi a dulang ga tšetse re go bone mosegare.
They also agreed to accompany us to where Ntanzi was staying, the place that we had been shown during the day. Asebevuma ukuthi bangasiphelezela siye kule ndawo la uNtanzi ayitholakala khona ke la basube sikhombisile emini.
Yes. Yes.
Gomme re le go fitlha kwa ra kokota mo rooming e re bone mosegare ya Ntanzi.
On our arrival, we knocked at the room which had seen during the day where Ntanzi is supposed to stay. Sasifika sangoza kuleli gumbi leli asasitshele ukuthi uNtanzi uhlala khona esikhonjisiwe emini.
And you said this was in Phuket?
Yes, in Phuket, Rustenburg.
Yebo kwakusePhuket eRustenburg.
Yes.
And we informed them that we are the police, and then they opened for us. Some chaluti samaphoyisa wasivulele.
Yes.
And when we got inside, we found him with his Tswana girlfriend. Sasisithola khona ke ukuthi wayehleli nengcwa yakhe yomtswana.
Yes.
Ile ka mojara wa mkhalabe apo wa mega molato mo wa longoma mo babolaileng mo tibile le sithunya se go tjagetse.
And we informed him that he is a suspect in the case of murder in Nongoma, where also a gun was found. Sasimtshela ukuthi athinteke ecaleni lawa Nongoma la wabulawa khona umuntu futhi ke nokuthi isibhamu sesatholakala.
Arvale verchana lo nitor ke ena ka ge hlodi ya rena imo re bontshitja yena.
Since we were already aware that it was him, since our informer had given us information about him, njengoba sasisazi ukuthi uyena ngoba owayesiza ngolwazi wayesitshelile ukuthi uyena.
Yes.
Ile ka mojora wa mgalabe o tseba ka eng o tseba eng ka molato wa Nongoma na.
And then I asked him what he knows about the Nongoma case. I said,
yes, you interviewed the suspect. Was he then arrested?
Yes, we arrested him.
Yes.
Ome ya velor ke malela ditokelo tsa go swara.
And then informed him of his rights. Ngase ngimtshela ngamalungelo akhe.
Chala di handcuffs.
And then we handcuffed him. Sasesimfakoza Nkosi.
Yes. Which are those rights that you explained to him? How did you go about explaining those rights?
We first told him that we are arresting him regarding the Nongoma case. Sasisamtshela ukuthi cha uboshelwa leli cala la Nongoma. First told him that he has the right to remain silent. Yes. And also that whatever he says could be used against him in a court of law. Kunokuthi ke uma ukuthi khona akushoyo kungasetshenziswa ekuquleni icala lakhe enkantolo.
Lore akahumana memedi ya na ikgethela go yena or wa mmusho re tla mo fa ile rana yona ile ra gwana tšhelete o patela.
We also told him that he has a right to legal representation, and if he is unable to afford legal representation, then he has a right to be given a legal representative, a lawyer that is going to be paid for by the state. So siyamtshela ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi abe nommeli kodwa ke uma ukuthi akakwazi ukukhokhela ummeli umbuso ungamnika ummeli ozomsiza ongakhokhela.
Yes.
Salwa mchia ramana mecha bela nera Elena Pretoria North.
When we placed him in our car and then we took him to Pretoria North. So sisimfaka ke motweni yethu saya naye Pretoria North.
Did you merely explain his rights verbally?
Jale le ile la mmotsa ditokelo tsa gago ka molomo fela.
Ke mmoditse ka molomo re gone kwa re Phukeng.
Yes, when we were in Phukeng, I only told him his rights verbally. Kusho ukuthi ePhukeng ngamtshela ngomlomo amalungelo akhe.
Yes, and more or less, what time was it when you arrested him?
Jale le mosorele nako ma.
Be le 9 ya bosigo.
It was 9 in the evening. Koko 9 wasebusuku.
Yes.
Ra swela ra fihla le ena Pretoria North Police Station.
And then we went with him to the Pretoria North Police Station. So summarize, so figure Pretoria North Police Station.
Re fihlile le na ka bo ma 10 sa bro re ke 2:10 or past 10 mara in around 10.
We arrived at around 10. I'm not sure whether it was before 10 o'clock or just after 10 o'clock, but it was around that time. Sasifika ngehora leshumi angisazi noma ke kwakusesiya kuleli hora leshumi noma sesiphelile kancane ihora leshumi.
Yes.
Ka fihla ka mofa ditokelo gape ka mongwalo.
And then when we arrived, I then handed him over his rights, his written rights. Mase umasifika lapho ke basenikwa ipheshana eliphethe amalungelo akhe.
Yes, but please, my lord, we have not yet received this notice of rights. As soon as we receive it, it will be handed as Exhibit LL1.
SAP 49.
LL1. I'm sorry, my lord.
49. SAP 49.
Yes. SAP 14A, my lord.
Yeah,
14A.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Kile ka mmalela tsona gape.
Also proceeded to read the rights for him again. Ngase ngimfundela wona kamalungelo akhe futhi.
Ke motsa bana ka Sezulu le Sesotho le Sekgowa ke ne ra kwishisha.
And then I used the 3 languages, Zulu, English, and Sesotho. The aim of which was to ensure that he understands. Ngase ngimtshela ngeSizulu nangesilungu nangeSesotho ngenzela ukuthi ke ngibe nesiqiniseko sokuthi uzwisisile ngempela.
We la kwishisha ansignela tsona di.
He then showed that he understands and he proceeded to sign the document. Awakhombisa ukuthi uyezwa futhi ke waseqhubeka ke uyasign lapha.
Yes.
Umerile ra motswallela ona mo for boshigo bowe.
We then locked him up on that night. Sasesimvalela ke kulobo busuku khona lapho.
And what is the procedure when someone is placed in the cells?
Manje jale kore go berekwa jang ge motho ba tlo mo tswallela ka diseleng.
Gona le ertsana police gona le ntwe re ke OB book ke yeah.
When you go into the police station, there is a book called an OB book. Kukhona ke incwadi ekhona ke lapha esikhumuleni samaphoyisa ebizwa ngokuthi OB book.
Yes.
Gona le
What does OB stand for, just for record purposes?
OBAMG.
occurrence book.
It is OB stands for occurrence book. Manje ku OB kumele ukuthi ke ila kubhalwa khona izinto ezenzekayo esithi phecelezi ngesingisi occurrence book.
Ba ile ba mongwala ka mogare because re fihla o ba le polisa le lutshing ka kwa diseleng le ngwala go re tsena le batho le re tswa le bona.
Well, his name was then entered into the occurrence book because there is this policeman whose duty is to record people who are taken in and people who are taken out. Lapho ke wasi igama lakhe lifakwa ke kule occurrence book ngoba khona iphoyisa elihlala and
Can you just identify what is that exhibit? MM.
O ka kgona go re tlhalosetse gore in exhibit MM eo ke eng?
Ke entry ke mongwalo ba ngwetseng gore re tlisitse Ntanzi kwa.
In this page we can see where it was recorded that we had brought Mr. Ntanzi to that facility. Lapha ke kubhalwe la ukuthi sa
The details regarding the day of the week and the date is
ke kopanele re balelo re e be le tšatši le lefeng la beke le gore le tšatši la bona e be le date e feng
does appear on top of the document.
ka mokgwa e bonagalang go godimo ga lekwana.
Be le ka la bobedi
It was on a Tuesday
ka ngwaga wa 2020
in 2020
June 16.
on the 16th of June. Kwakulwesibili ngonyaka 2020 ngomhla 16 kuJune.
And what is the relevant entry as well as the time?
Njale sesingwadilwe ngumfaweki ingi linako ya wona.
Una le serial number 467
There is a serial number that starts with 467.
le nako ring 2242
There is a time also which is 22:42.
le entry engwetse in transit.
Also there's an entry that says in transit.
Yes, can you
In transit e ra gore es watcha se re tlisang a se sa police station eo.
In transit is meant to indicate that the person that is being brought there is not intended to be kept at that specific police station. Usho ukuthi ke uma kuchaza ukuthi in transit kuchaza ukuthi lo muntu ke wayengalethwa lapho ukuthi ayogcinwa khona lapho wayedlula nje.
yes, can you place the particulars thereof on record?
Yes, umme
Baleri ba le tsona gore
ngwetse gore Detective Sergeant Mohani of National Cold Case Unit.
And who's that?
ke mang you know.
Kinna Detective Sergeant Mohani.
Kubhalwe lapho ukuthi Detective Sergeant Mohani. It is written here Detective Sergeant Mohani.
Cold Case Unit with one suspect.
Usho ukuthi lo phuma ke cold case unit uhamba ke nomsolo oyedwa.
Lebitso la ka case number ya Nongoma 160 of 10 2018.
With the Nongoma case number
163 of 10 2018.
163 of 10 2018.
Le malungelo a la gage a ditokelo tša gagwe tša go swarwa re bitsa SAP 14A ka sekgowa.
Also the his legal rights, the SAP 14.
Gomme e na le no
Just read it as it is.
As it is.
Mr. Rep.
No, it's
Oh,
about
yes,
ka
okay.
mokgwa o ile ka gona ka sekgowa.
SAP 14 512 66 765. Time of arrest 2100 with no injuries. Contact number of Sergeant Mohani.
Yes, you don't need to read that. into your level. Yes.
Ifela mo. And then mo fase mo ba ngalo detain correctly go make a sign.
Well, underneath it is also written detained correctly and then I signed. Ukuthi lapha ke kuyabhalwa ke imininingwane ukuthi ungene ngayiphi SAP 14 nawo konke lokho kwabhalwa nokuthi akalimalanga waqhubeka kufana nesikhathi sokuthi uboshwe nini kwafana ukuthi inamba zalomuntu omlethile ke uSergeant Mugale kanjani kwasekuthiwa ke uvalelwe ngokomthetho.
Just for record purposes, can you just explain what is that SAP 14A?
Yini ke yini SAP 14A?
SAP 14A ke buka e le gore ba ngwala ba swariwa go yona.
SAP 14 is a book in which all the arrested people are recorded in. SAP 14 ke incwadi ke la ekubhalwa khona bonke abantu ababoshiwe.
Yes, but SAP 14A, the number that starts with 512 66765. What is it?
Manje uyale una li SAP 14A e-learning number A latelang 512666765. Yale ki nye.
Ditokelo tse re mofile go tsona tse bola ke dire ona le o right to remain silent ona tse di na le nomoro ba bitsa serial number.
Well, it is the serial number of the legal rights where they are recorded. Each time a person is given these legal rights, there is a number that is attached to that, a unique number. Also, this is a book with many pages. Manje ke lana ke lesikhuluma ngayo ke SAP 14A kusho yilapho la khona ke malungelo abasolwa and futhi ke lapho ke kuyabhalwa futhi nale serial number ukuthi lo muntu uyathola maphi amalungelo usho ayekho omunye othola le number yakhe yedwa.
Is that the one that you mentioned that you explain it to him in Sesotho, isiZulu and English?
Kiyona yoro mumleji ka siZulu ka Sesotho le English.
Kiyona.
That is correct. Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, what happened after that?
Who did arranging him away?
Well,
we placed him inside and then he was locked up and they received him and we left him there. Yebo sake samfaya ngaphakathi bamamkela bamvalela sasimsisha la.
Yes.
Kubanga
ekitloga mo le ka fonela brigadier
Nontanzi ngicela ubrigadier Gininda ukuthi utazi ngimtholile and futhi ke sengimvalele ePretoria police station.
Brigadier lo tla re mona go sasa tera tšatši latelago.
Then the brigadier said I'm going to see him tomorrow, implying the following day. Wasethi ukuthi getting ngine hayi ngizombona kusasha usho uyayichaza ukuthi uyombona ngelanga elilandelayo.
So just to go back to the entry, did you place the time on record?
Wela re botšana go re be nna koma
ke boletše ke rile ke 22:42.
Yes, the time was 22:42. Yebo isikhathi kwaku 22:42.
Yes.
No rile la mtlogela wasa wa ba le tšatši latelago.
Well, we left him there until the morning of the following day. Samishiya ke lapho kuze kuyofika ilanga elilandelayo ekseni.
Ka mantšiboana a di 17.
On the evening of the 17th,
ile ka tlogana le Mabena ra boela Pretoria North.
Mabena and I went back to Pretoria North.
Just place the year on record, 17 June of which?
17 June 6, 2020. No, sorry, 17 June 2020, sorry.
That was 17th of June 2020. Uthi ngomhla 17 June 2020 yena noMabena baphindela ePretoria North.
Yes.
Go be re fihla kwa ra gopela Ntanzi re gopela go mmona.
And on our arrival there, we requested to see Ntanzi. Masifika lapha sacela ukubona Ntanzi.
Rile ra montšha ka ba re seleng ra misha boardroom.
We took him out of the cell and we took him to the boardroom. Sesiyamkhipha emaseleni samisa boardroom.
Wana kwa Pretoria North.
Khona lapha ePretoria North, right there in Pretoria North.
Just a minute. Sorry. And what is the procedure when someone is taken out of the cells, like you have done?
Jale, okhobeleka bjang ha motho a tlo ntshwa ka mo diseding a ishwa go.
Ona ena motho a le ntšha ka di-cell. O tlo ngwala ma OB book.
The person that is in charge of the cells is going to make an entry into the OB book. Or sebenza emaseleni uzobhala lapha kule ncwadi kuthiwa i-OB book.
And was such an entry made?
And in Wile Angwala. That is correct. Yebo kunjalo.
My lord, it's page 3 of exhibit MM. Can you read the relevant details, day of the week and the date?
Re kopa o re ngwalle mo go badilweng gore o lanshiwa o no e bala ka moka.
Gona le serial number mo ere inola ke bone ga o ile.
At the top there, the date.
Or the date.
Ba date ya go ngomhla 17 kuJune futhi ke kungunyaka ka 2020.
Yes, and the relevant entry.
Gongwe nako ere 1655.
The time is 1650. Is given as 1655. Isikhathi isibhalwe no 1655.
The serial number.
Serial number.
Number ke bone botse.
I'm unable to see the serial number. It's not very legible because some of it has been chopped off. Angwazi ukubona serial number ngoba ngathi khona ayibonakali kahle.
Can you just place the serial number on record?
The serial number.
494.
The serial number is 494.
Nako 1655.
The time is 1655.
Wangwalo investigation out.
It is written investigation out.
Detective Sergeant Mohani.
Detective Sergeant Mohani.
Of National Cold Case Investigation Unit.
Of the National Cold Case Investigation Unit.
With one suspect. Nongoma case, 1/60/10/2020. No, 2018. I think one other mistake I would do 2018. That's one only 2018. So only thinking I'm with 2020.
With one suspect of the Nongoma case of 2018.
Malamo 1/60/10/2020.
But on the document, it appears that there's an error because someone wrote 2020.
Yes.
Bongani Ntanzi.
Name of Bongani Ntanzi, ukamela Bongani Ntanzi.
Cell 64 ke SAP 14 ya mangwalang ba tshwara go yona. Ke number 64, motshwaro wa number 64 tšatši.
Also, cell 64 is the number of the accused on that day.
Of 6/2020.
Of 6/2020.
Then SAPS 14A is a little topelo chele chaga gape le sepela le ena.
And also they wrote about SAP 14A, which is his rights. His rights are also following him. Stilapo SAP 14A ukuno amalungelo akhe ukuthi asaqhubeka emlandeni.
Isana le yona nomoro yela gape ya 512666765.
Amalungelo ke asahamba nayo le number ka 512666765. The 512776765 number of the rights is still continuing with him.
51266
512666765.
Without injuries.
It is also written without injuries. Baliwe futhi ukuthi akalimele.
Yes. There's, we'll just read the rest of the information there.
Oh, no. Correct received.
It is written correctly received, and I also signed again. Ngaphinde ngasign la.
And Ramofasa Raperonali number 498 booked back.
498?
Yeah, serial number 498 booked back.
Also, there's a number there, 498 booked back.
Yes, but can you explain to the court what was the purpose of booking him out? What happened there in the boardroom?
It's because there were many cases which he was involved in. Well,
we're not going to much about it because now we're going to
we did not have enough time the previous night, so we wanted to have a good time to understand properly about these cases. Kushuthi ngobusiko babedlule sasingabanga isikhathi esihle kusho ukuthi lapha sasizama ukuba nesikhathi esihle sokuthi sikwazi ukuxoxa naye ngalo.
So ke ile ka mo chagape ka ditokelo tsa ga tsa go swariwa.
I also again reiterated his rights when arrested. Ase ngiphinde futhi ngiyamkhumbuza ngamalungelo akhe uma eboshiwe.
Gore ge le gore o a nyaka go bolela o geta go gomola ke ditokelo tsa ga.
And I informed him that he has the right to remain silent. And I say ngimtshela ukuthi hayi unelungelo lokuthula angakhulumi.
Lero sa tlo bolelang ska tla sa shumishiwa kgatlhanong le ena tšatši la tsheko.
I also informed him that whatever he says can be used against him in a court of law. Ase ngimtshela ukuthi awushoyo kungasetshenziswa equleni icala lakhe enkantolo.
Error pele ki le tšo ya pele ki akwa Pretoria North apele Sergeant Mapena Mokhu Sergeant Mapena ke ile ka botsa Brigadier Gininda gore sa ile bona ntanzi ba wela gape.
There's something I forgot to include, that before we went to the Pretoria North Police Station, we informed Brigadier Gininda that we would be going to see Ndanzi. As khona ngikusho ukuthi ngisingakayi ePitoli ngatshela uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi sisanga sePitoli kuyobona Ndanzi.
Lebaka la gore mmoja gore ke le mokamedi wa unit o swantse tsebe ntho le gore dira.
The reason for telling him is because he is a unit commander and he must be informed of everything that is happening. Enhloso ke ukuthi semtshela ukuthi uyena umkhuzi wale liqembu leli kufanele konke okwenziwayo atshelwe.
Yes.
Omera fitla kwa boardroom ra dula.
On arrival in the boardroom, we sat down, Safia boardroom, Safia Sashala.
Omera muchisha ka malate nongoma.
And then we asked him about this Nongoma case. Sasisa mbuza ke ngale icala wenongoma.
In which language were you communicating with him?
Lebelebulela fulelo ifika la liana.
Na ga ntse ke shumisha sekgowa seZulu le Sepedi.
Most of the time I use English, Zulu and Sepedi. Ushuthi ke mina ikaningi ngisebenzisa isingisi, isiZulu neSepedi.
Ibile wa karona mohlwa mang ife ba mo tswana ke bolela Setswana.
Well, it also depends on who you are. If you speak Tswana, I do speak Tswana.
Ke tlhakantša le sekgowa gape.
But I also mix English in there. Mtswana ngikhulumisa Setswana kodwa isingisi siyangena khona la.
But regarding Mr. Ntanzi, which language did you communicate with him in?
Mawapileli Ntanzi lile la shumisha bulelo ifi.
Mr. Sekgowa, seZulu le Sesotho le Setswana.
We used English, Zulu and Tswana. Sasa isingisi nesiZulu nesitswana.
Yes.
O mmekile ka mmotšiša nna le Mokhu Mapena gore o tsebang ka molato wa Nongoma wa sethunya le go bolaya.
That is me together with the late Mapena, asked him what he knows about the murder case in Nongoma.
Yes. Regarding this matter, what happened?
Le gona re ra mmotšiša le ona gore go na le tlhodi e re boditseng gore wa amega gape go molatong ona.
We informed you that there was an informer who had informed us that he is involved in this case. Samchazela-ke nokuthi kukhona wasethulela ulwazi ukuthi uyathikiteka kulolu daba.
Yes.
Umekile ka mmotšiša rena o ba le kae ka 26 tša October 2014 ge Senzo Meyiwa a bolaiwa.
26 October
2014.
We asked him where he was on the 26th of October 2014 when the deceased was killed. Sambuza ukuthi wayelaphi ke ngomhla 26 10 for eminyakeni ka-October 2014 mhlazane umufi ebulawa.
Gomme o ba tseba ka lona letšatši le la bolewa ga Senzo Meyiwa.
He did know about the date of the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Wayazi ngosuku lokwazi lokubulawa ka Senzo Meyiwa.
Ka gore no ke taba e le gore be e le mo di-radio le di-TV ka mokgatlhalotšeng ga ona o itseba bjalo.
He claimed that he knows about this case because it was all over the news. Wathi-ke wazi ngalokubulawa ka Senzo Meyiwa ngoba kwakusemaphephandabeni nakumabonakude nabo bonke.
Yes.
Alo ke mo tsana ka wa amega mo mogononelwa mo molatong o bole kae ka tšatši leo la 26 October 2014.
Well, when I told him that he is a suspect in this case, I asked him where he was on the 26th of 2014. I said, "Ngambuza ukuthi lo bange sathi yathinteka kuloluda wayelaphi mhla 26/10/14."
Wilare eno ba le mošomong kwa Sibanye still water mine kwa Western area.
He claimed to have been at the Sibanye still water mine in Western area. Was Tigena, I was saying my emsebenzini eSibanye water mine in Western area.
Yes.
Bjale ke ile ka mo tšarna a ka kgona go re iša gona mo ba šoma gona mo mining re ile go ntšha gore ka nnete o ba le mmerekong.
When we asked him if he could take us to the mines to go and verify that indeed he was on duty on that specific day at the mine. So sindlela ukuthi angasatha yini sise emayini ukuthi siyothola isiqiniseko sokuthi ngempela wayekhona emayini esebenza ngalelo langa.
Yes.
Wila dumela ro tla re iša sangagana.
He agreed to take us there. He did not refuse. Wavuma ukuthi uzosithatha sise khona lapha akazangaphika.
Yes.
Gomme ka letšatši le šetše le subetše bjale bonoro tsela e la kwa le yona a e sepela ke bošego ra re no re tla tsoga go sasa ka di 18 re ya le yena.
Since it was late in the day and we felt that we could not drive on that road going there, we felt that we told him that we're going to fetch him the following day to go there with him. Ngoba-ke kwasekuhlwile futhi-ke sibona ukuthi leya ndlela engeke sikwazi ukuyihamba, so sisithi-ke okungcono simtshela ukuthi sizomlanda ngelanga elilandelayo.
Yes.
Gomme ka letšatši le latelago
Just before that. Yes. Yes. Sorry. Just interpret that.
So sisimtshela ukuthi sizomlanda ngelanga elilandelayo.
Yes. And what happened to Mr. Ntanzi?
Kwasekwenzana kaningi ngoba Mntanzi. We then took him back to the cell. So sesimthatha simbuyisele emaselini.
Was an entry made regarding that fact?
Khona le mo ba ngwadileng gore le mosheditše morago. Yes, there is an entry. Khona ila kubhalwe khona.
Yes. It's on page 4, my lord, of Exhibit MM. Can you read the relevant entry?
Sicela usibhekeleke usifundele konke-ke le ndawo la kubhalwe khona uba le mo ba ngwadileng gore mosheditše morago.
Serial number 498.
The serial number is 498.
Ka nako ne ile 1955.
The time was 1955.
Investigation back.
It is also written there, investigation back.
In which Detective Sergeant Mohan of National Cold Case Unit.
Ukubhalwe ukuthi Detective Sergeant Mohan was the National Cold Case Unit.
On Longoma case 160 of 10. I was also Porsche instead of 2018 which is 2020.
With the actual case number, there is still a mistake here because it's still written in as 2020.
Cell number, serial number number 64 of 10 2020.
And he wrote the name and of
nomoro ya go swariwa ya go
the number, his arrest number, which is 64 of 10 of 2020.
gomme mo fase mo ngwetše book back without injuries correctly handed and then sign ile gape.
At the bottom is written booked back with no injuries, and then also it is written that he was brought back properly, correctly, and then the sergeant signed as well. Kushuthi lapha kuthiwe ubuyisiwe engalimele futhi kwase kuyasho ukuthi ubuyiswe kahle wayeseke uyasayina usayitsheni.
Yes.
Okay, bjale le wana gape ke sale ka founela brigadier Kinina gape ka reno monna wa modimo o dumela gore iša mo a bego a šoma gona.
And then of course is Brigadier Kininza again.
Bobedi 2020 0680.
We went home and the following day, which was the
Ka di 18th of June.
it was on the 18th of June 2020.
Yes.
Ome ka fihla kwa diseleng gape
I arrived again in the cells. Ngafika futhi emaseleni.
ne le 815 serial number 520.
The time was 8:15 and the serial number was 520.
Gomme advocate na le clear yes ke bone
Is it good? Please.
I'm unable to see, it is a bit illegible for me to read.
Would this be an appropriate time to take the short adjournment?
Again for 15 minutes.
5:20.
nako 8:50.
The time is 8:15.
Investigation out.
Investigation out.
Detective Sergeant Mokhani booked out.
Detective Sergeant Mokhali, one keeper.
One male suspect.
Keeper wesilisa
On Nongoma case 160 of 10/2018.
umkhipha ngecala lekwanongoma
Wangani Ntanzi.
ubangani Ntanzi.
SAP 14.
Wakhishwa nge-SAP 14.
66 or 6, I can't recall, 61 or 66.
Kubizwa ukuthi isibanye still water.
Ngafihla kaema kamo ndlela gate ke mechi brigadier Gininda ngafihla.
On arrival we waited outside the gate waiting for Brigadier Gininda to arrive. Sesifikile ke lapho sama esangweni silindele uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi afike.
Wilafihla asepelale Sergeant Mokhula.
Indeed, he arrived together with Sergeant Mokhula. Yafika ke ehamba no Sergeant Mokhula.
More or less, what time was it?
Kusapula maribele ka afternoon.
I really am unable to recall, but it was in the afternoon. I really can't recall the time. Sasikhumbulile isikhathi kodwa kokuyintambama.
Brigadier General lo fihla ka mutsibisha Ntanzi.
And when Brigadier Gineza arrived, I introduced him to Ntanzi. And time figure Gineza ngamithula kuNtanzi.
Lena Brigadier Gineza sala itsibisha ka wena or ke namang.
Brigadier Gineza also introduced himself to Gineza and
to Meyiwa to Ntanzi.
Brigadier Gineza naye kwasezethula etshela uNtanzi ukuthi ubani.
Brigadier Gineza phela bolela le yena o ile amile chama ditokelo tsa gape tse be ke mile tsa tsona pele re tloga kwa Pretoria.
Before speaking to him, Brigadier Gineza again reiterated his rights to him, the same rights that I read for him before we left Pretoria. Engakhulumi ke naye uBrigadier Gineza samfundela amalungelo akhe wona lamalungelo engangimfundele wona sisasuka ePitoli.
Wila mmoja ona amahlaloshetsa gore o ba le kae gape ka tšatši le Senzo Meyiwa bolawa.
Then he asked him, the Brigadier Gineza asked Ntanzi where he was on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. Brigadier Gineza ebuza uNtanzi ukuthi oyelaphi la mhlazane ubulawa uSenzo Meyiwa.
Wila mmoja gape Brigadier Gineza wena Ntanzi wa gononelwa goba go mo polaong ya Senzo Meyiwa.
Then he also informed him that he is a suspect in the case, in the murder case of Senzo Meyiwa. Wasaphinda uyamtshela ukuthi umsolwa kuleli cala lika Senzo Meyiwa.
Ntanzi wila gana rena atsebisile o ba le mshumo tšatši leo.
Ntanzi declined and said he does not know anything because he was at work on that day. Waphika ke uNtanzi wathi akasilutho yena waye semsebenzini ngalelo la.
Rile ra tsena re sepela le yena ka mogare ga mine.
We went together with him into the mine, sahangena naye emayini.
Ra ba re ya lefapheng la human resource.
We went to the human resource branch, sasesiya la ku khona hlala khona be human resource.
Sale ba lebele di shisha mo mangwalong a bona gore Ntanzi ba le gona tšatši leo.
They checked in their encwadini zabo ukuthi uNtanzi ngempela wayekhona yini emsebenzini ngalelo langa.
Wila wa kra gore o ba sego.
It was discovered that he was not on duty on that day. Kwasekutholakala ukuthi wayengekho emsebenzini ngalelo langa.
Human resource manager monna lo go wila a first statement mabapi le seo.
Then the human resource manager gave us the statement with regards to that. Ophethe human resources wayeseke usinika statement mayelana nalokho.
Do you still remember his name?
Sakhumbule usanjelo khupulala ina la gagwe?
Ngawo tlatsi ba ke Brigadier Gineza.
The HR manager?
Yes, HR manager.
No, I'm unable to recall his name. I think Brigadier Gineza might be able to record his name. Angisamkhumbuli igama lakhe kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi uBrigadier Gineza ngenza ukuthi sakhumbula igama lakhe.
Yes.
Re tloga mo ba fetsa first statement. Brigadier Gineza ka re ke ena tshwereng case ya polao ya Senzo Meyiwa ya 636 of 2014.
And after that, since Brigadier Gineza is the one who's in charge of this investigation of the death of Senzo Meyiwa in the case 636 of 2014,
10/2014.
of 10/2014, njengoba ke Brigadier Gineza kwakuyena umphenyi omkhulu kuleli cala lokubulawa kwaSenzo Meyiwa.
Abontsha Ntanzi una le sithombe se lo ne ba se drawile se swanang le yena.
since Brigadier Kinenza was the chief investigator and and also the one who had the docket, he then showed Ntanzi a picture which was said to be a likeness of him.
We just want to
Njengoba Brigadier Kinenza yena kwayephethe umphenyi omkhulu kuleli cala wase and futhi kwakuyena wayephethe docket wasekhipha ke isithombe lapho esasi umfanekiso wakhe uNtanzi.
We just want to show you Exhibit BB. Do you recognize that exhibit on the screen?
Guess what?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes.
Yebo ngiyasibona.
Yes. Which one?
Call song la go left lengailangele.
He's the one on the left.
Mapere woody.
The one who's wearing a hoodie. Yilo usesandleni somnqele ogqoke ihoodie.
But in relation to what we've just told the court now, are you able to relate that to your evidence?
Uka kopanya sisonso se le bopaki ba gago.
You say an identikit was shown to Ntanzi, which one?
O rile identikit ile ya bontshwa Ntanzi o raifi.
Ke yona e leng mo swantshong.
It is the same one that is on the picture. It's on the last.
Yes, which one?
On left, apere moody, una le tedunyana.
It's the one that is on the face. It is the face that is on the left. The one that is wearing a hoodie. You know, buso bonala la pa left bukoge isko.
Gomme Ntanzi la gana mara ka oba wana polaong ya Senzo Meyiwa.
Ntanzi denied being present at the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. Ntanzi waphi ukuthi wayekhona epulweni kaSenzo Meyiwa.
Omme o ile gape a dumela gore wa tseba ka polaong ya Senzo Meyiwa botsa.
You may not disclose what was said to Brigadier Gininda. That's not admissible. Is that correct? Brigadier Gininda interviewed Mr. Ntanzi. Yes. What happened further?
What did I
No, we la muchacha muchachona, and then go tloga mo ka mo Brigadier Gininda no umudijoro wa tseba yena go dira ga tšenga tšatšile.
Please don't disclose what he told Brigadier Gininda.
Ra koparuska wa seba se bujeng Brigadier Gininda.
What happened further? After the interview that Brigadier Gininda had with Ntanzi?
Sorry?
Kamera Ntanzi abulele le Brigadier Gininda.
What happened?
Go dira ga tšeng.
Brigadier Gininda wela mo tšaga pa mo ona ka dira tšaga gape.
Brigadier Gininda informed him of his rights again. Brigadier Gininda waphinda wamtshela ngamalungelo akhe.
Ore sa se bolelang gape se tlo shumishiwa kgatlhanong le yena le lona a ka no go mo leranya go bolela.
Informed him that whatever he says can be used against him and that he can continue to remain silent.
Yes.
Wasemtshela ukuthi konke akushoyo kungasetshenziswa ecaleni lakhe maliqulwa futhi ke nokuthi angakwazi ukuqhubeka athule angasho lutho.
Yes, what happened further?
Bakutira la ngutshela pile.
Go tloga mo ka re bjale ba tšhabeditše le Brigadier Gininda. Brigadier Gininda o ile a sepela a re o tla dira gore a nyake motho le gore Ntanzi a ka bolela le yena a ne ka mokgwa wa confession o e leng gore a tsebisele ka molato wa reng.
Ke kopa o be di passage ngata nyana gore o kgone go bua.
La gore Brigadier Gininda a fetše bolela le Ntanzi ja mo di tšeo tsona.
After Brigadier Gininda had finished telling him what he had informed him, emva ukuthi Brigadier Gininda eseqedile ngolo kuNtanzi amtshela kona.
Omme Brigadier Gininda wela mo tšhabela botšare no ra ba ke tlanya ka mehlo ro tla mo tšare taba ka mogo e le gore a se be molato gore bo dira ga tšea ke rena re a phenya.
And then he said, Brigadier Gininda informed him that he was going to look for somebody that Ntanzi was going to be able to tell him that person about the fact that he in Tanzi does not know anything about the case that was being
That's no whatsoever.
that
Yes, please. Brigadier Gininda said he'll arrange someone to take down a confession. What happened further?
No, we la sepela brigadier then nali mapena ra tswala pele ka moshomo wa rena.
Brigadier Kineza then left, and then me and Mapena continued with our duty.
Ga re bona ke tse dintse le re be le me ama re le ra sepela ntse re phenya.
And since there were many cases that he was involved in, we continued to make our investigations. And njengoba kwakunamacala amaningi ayithinteka kuwona, sasiyaqhubeka nophenyo lwethu.
Awome utwa fa re le ra mushetsa back mo re mtshele kwa police
From
station.
there we took him back where we had took him at the police station. So lapho sasimphindisela la sasimthathe khona police station.
Which police station?
We police station is
Pretoria North.
that is the Pretoria North police station.
Yes.
Jolapile.
Gome sa re mo fitla ra mushetsa back ra mo buka back.
On arrival, we then booked him back in. Must figure out person simfa futhi ngaphakathi.
Sa re mo ngwala gape ka mkhoba mona ba no bukeng.
And again, he was registered into the books.
Which books are you referring to?
Ulibuka je ulanga tsona ke tse dife?
It's a occurrence book gape.
It's still the occurrence book.
Yes. Can you place the relevant entry in the date?
O ka re bontsha mo ngwadilweng gona gore o ngwadilwe kae?
Wa go dimo mo itse Friday 2026-19.
In June,
Ka letšatši 19.
Exhibit MM. Yes.
Gome yona ngwetso ga tsela e and serial number 531 nako 2:30 in the morning.
the time is 2:30 in the morning.
Investigation back.
Investigation back, should you say buyabuyiswa?
Detective Sergeant Mohane of National Cold Case Unit booked back one suspect.
Sergeant Mahale wako National Cold Case Investigation babuyisa msolwa oyedwa
Of murder on Nongoma case.
osolwa ngokubulala ecaleni lakwaNongoma.
Case number 163 of 6/2018. Mobile ngwetše botse ba le ba correctile mo.
The case number 163
Stroke 06
stroke 06
of 2018.
stroke 2018. That is the case number 16306 of 2018. In here, it is written correctly.
Gomme e tšwela pele gape e re Bongani Ntanzi SAP 14
It also continues to mention the name of Bongani Ntanzi,
SAP 1464 stroke 06 stroke 2020.
SAP 64 stroke 06 2020.
Tšwela pele gape e re SAPS 14A
And it continues to say SAP 14A.
serial number 5266765.
It also provides the same serial number 512666765.
Booked back without any complaints or injuries.
Buyiselwe ngaphakathi kungena zikhalo futhi kungena kulimala.
Correctly handed yakisayinela gape.
It was correctly handed in, and then the sergeant signed again. Futhi iyakhombisa la ukuthi bamfaka kahle, and usayitsheni waphinde wasayina.
Gomme o na le another entry gape ya 532
There's also another entry of 532.
ya nako ya 2:35.
The time is 2:35.
Suspect charged.
Yes.
Detective Sergeant Mohane.
So you just put the correct time there on
Oh,
the record.
2:35. It's not 2:35.
0235.
02 or 02:35. Sorry.
Yes.
Suspect charged, Detective Sergeant Mohane of National Cold Case Unit, charged one male suspect of murder on Nongoma, case 163 of 6/2018, of which Now he wrote the wrong case number again. Supposed to be 163 of 10, 2018. The month there. And
Kuthiwa
then,
lapho ke uSergeant Mokhale wathwesa wesilisa icala ngecala leka 163 of 6 futhi waphinde wayebhala wenza iphutha ekubhaleni le case leyasi kwanongo.
ibile le mo entry year 531 asanga bona botse le ngwana case we ngwetse wrong. It's 163 of 10, 2018, not 163 of 6, 2018. Of entry serial number 531, where it says booked back one male suspect of murder on Nongoma case 163, though it was supposed to be 163 of 10, 2018, not 163 of 6, 2018.
There's also a mistake in the serial number 531 where it was supposed to be 163 of 10 of 2018. It was written as 163 of 6, 2018, which was a mistake. Nakhona iphutha ke lenzeka futhi ngokuthi kufanele ubhale ukuthi 163 of 10 of 2018 kubhalwe ku 163 of 6, 2018.
Satshala phela kaphe ka entry ya 532.
Saqhubeka nge-entry 532 sekubandana intanzi futhi okusel 64 of 6, 2020.
SAP 14A.
SAP 14A
51266765.
5126666765.
Charged correctly without any complaints or visible injuries. Correctly charged, I signed.
Akukho zikhalazo futhi ke uthweswe kahle icala base yasayinda ke usayitsheni.
And then Robali entering Friday 20.
There's also another entry on that very same Friday.
Yeah, 2020-6-19. Serial number 534.
Serial number yalapho 534.
Number 0450.
Manje lapho isikhathi sithi 0450.
Whenever I got prisoner transferred, Detective Sergeant Mokhane of National Cold Case Unit with one male.
Manje umsolwa ke nangu useyadluliswa ehamba noSergeant Mokhale ophuma National Cold Case
with one male suspect of murder.
Wayehamba nomsolwa webulala.
Nongoma 163 of 6, 2018 case number.
Manje ke icala la Nongoma 163 of 10, 2018.
Then Ramofasi are 1 Bungani Mkanzi cell 64 06 2020 stroke 06 stroke 2020.
Manje kuyashiwa ke lapho ukuthi Bungani Ntanzi 64 of 6, 2020.
SAP 14A 512-66765.
Yaphinda futhi kuyafakwa ne-serial number ethi SAP 14A 512-66765.
Transferred to Phosphorus Court without any injuries or complaint.
Wedluliselwe ePhosphorus Court engalimele futhi enganasikalo.
Up in which was correctly transferred kisayina kape.
Futhi ubhaliwe nokuthi udluliswe kahle waphinde wasayina usayitsheni.
Yes, what happened then?
We then took him at the time and went with him to court. Sasabthatha samba naye senkantolo.
Is it the Phosphorus Court?
Phosphorus Court, yes.
Yes, that is in the Phosphorus Court indeed. Yebo kwakuyona leyo court yasePhosphorus.
Yes.
Relatively nkabo past 5, between 5 and half past 5. Kafonela ki Brigadier Gininda.
And when we were on our way between 5 and half past 5, we got a call from Brigadier Gininda. Sisaya sendleleni go 5 to half past 5. Isathola ucingo lwaluvela ku Brigadier Gininda. He informed us that he had found someone that was going to be able to take the confession of Ntanzi. Wayesho ukuthi uthole umuntu ongalalela uNtanzi uma evuma isongo.
Pileria court for Surasrefite Moroka police station.
We went to the forest.
Who did you phone?
Ekurhuleni Metro Police.
I phoned the Ekurhuleni Metro Police. I phoned abespolice Ekurhuleni Metro.
Officer Jabulani Buthelezi.
Ngakhuluma ke no police lapho ku Jabulani Buthelezi. I spoke to Officer Jabulani Buthelezi. Because he was one in charge of the Ekurhuleni Metro police escort. We ke phethe benza ama escort nomphelezelo lapha Ekurhuleni.
Rele rakwana ka re be salfro ka se gone o tlore la taka mo sa Pretoria o tla re emela Alberton mo tsileng
we then had an agreement that since it was still early, he wasn't going to come and fetch us from Pretoria, but he was going to wait for us in Alberton. I said to him, ngoba kusesekuseni angeke wazi uzosilanda Pretoria, uzosmela eAlberton.
Ome o tla romela group ya gage e nang le gore e re emela kwa Moroka.
He then said he was going to send another group which was going to wait for us at Moroka police station. I said, uzothumela inqembu lizosihlana nathi eMoroka.
Group enele Moroka ke ne Officer Jonathan.
Now those that were in Moroka were Officer Jonathan together with his colleagues. And lapha ke eMoroka kuyoba Officer Jonathan nabanye ke asebenzisana nabo.
Awakanditi ra kopana le bona mo tsileng a sangara no yema ga re ba re bone then ba re latela.
And we then joined them on the way because we did not stop. They actually saw us and then they followed us.
Who are you referring to?
Officer Jabulani Buthelezi and his group.
I'm referring to Officer Jabulani Buthelezi and his group. Officer Jabulani Buthelezi Netimbalai. See, when we entered Soweto, since there were there was a lot of traffic, they went ahead of us, clearing the traffic for us.
Moroka police station.
Until we reached the Moroka police station. So Moroka police station.
Ome kilega phone la gape brigadier Ginindor a which Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu rifihlile.
Then called Lieutenant Colonel Gininda again to ask exactly who was sitting within the police station. Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu was asitshela ukuthi uhleli iphi la ngaphakathi kwesikhumulo samaphoyisa.
Ka ba ka khopela Officer Jonathan wa Metro Police eKurhuleni.
I then asked Constable Jonathan of the Metro Police of Ekurhuleni that he must be the one that takes Ntanzi to Lieutenant Colonel, saying that it be Katage Ntanzi wamisa ehhovisi lika Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu.
Wile atsenelela kusona ne baduthi kaya atsenelela kume abuwa gape atlo emalrela mo koloing.
He went in, I don't know where they were sitting, but then after that he came back and sat with us in the car. Wangena ngalinga phakathi emva kwaloko wasebuya izohlala nathi ezimotweni.
Yes.
Well, I'm a hamanchi, rona li confession it or